If you are an ultralight purist who clicked this video because you were triggered by the title or thumbnail, stick around because you are not going to like what I have to say. Hey y'all, Jeffrey here. Welcome back. Ultralight backpacking is all about cutting weight, but here I am with 40 pounds on my back calling myself an ultralight backpacker. What the heck? Well, before you judge me, hear me out. So this loadout wasn't just for me, it was also for my job. Let's dive into the ultralight gear that made it all possible and the luxuries that I needed to work on trail. Now, as a professional content creator, I'm so lucky to get to call this my job, and I couldn't just hike the Pacific Crest Trail, I also had to document it. That meant carrying camera equipment, extra battery banks, enough power to power a small city, at times even a drone. So stick around to see where I cut weight so that I could still carry all of that extra stuff that I needed for work. And there may have been a few luxuries in there as well. Okay, so first I want to highlight the places where I think I saved the most weight. And then I will go through and explain why I wanted to save that weight and what I used to fill it. I'm exaggerating by saying, of course, that I would consider myself an ultralight backpacker with a 40-pound bag. My base weight, without my camera gear, without any of the extra work things, it was around 12 pounds. It was a little over, it was like 12 pounds and a few ounces. Is that like crazy ultralight? No, but it's pretty light. I could have easily gotten it down below 10 pounds, but that included a few luxuries. Like, I'm a 2-pillow kind of guy. They're ultralight pillows. But again, I keep finding myself making ultralight choices so that I can then justify other actions, other luxuries. So, I think it's a noble effort to be ultralight and stay ultralight, but I do some sort of weird hybrid situation where I make ultralight choices to allow for not ultralight luxuries. So with that, let's jump right into them. The first thing, I was never a fanny pack person. I didn't think I was a fanny pack person, but this is the Hyperlight DCF fanny pack. I wore it the entire time, and the reason that aside from just being a great fanny pack, well, you know what? I did have a zipper fail, and I had to order a new one, but you know, it was used hard, so I don't know that we can fault the fanny pack. But I never thought I was a fanny pack person, or maybe I just didn't know I was a fanny pack person, clearly. But what this did was allow me to carry weight not on my back. So I prioritized keeping my 3 battery banks, again, they're the NightCore 20,000 battery banks. You can find them on Garage Gun Gear. All of the links to everything that I use on the PCT is in the description below. I'll reiterate that at the end, but in case you're in a in a hurry, they're all down there. And this is in there as well. I got it from Garage Gun Gear, but you can get this from other places. But I also got the battery banks from Garage Gun Gear as well. And while it is excessive that I had to carry 3 of them, I needed them. I needed all 3, and they are the very, very lightest option. I don't have one handy. I should have had one ready. But they're, like, to my research, hands down, the lightest battery bank for the amount of juice that they give you. So, Hyperlight fanny pack. Not only was it great for a gazillion other reasons, first and foremost, it allowed me to carry extra weight, not on my back. Okay, the next place that I saved a lot of weight was with my Cowboy camping setup. Now, I started the trail with the Altaplex. This is a 1-person ultralight DCF shelter from Z-Packs, and it is a version of the I don't remember what the other one is. This is the version for tall people. It gives you a little bit extra headroom. And this is what I started the trail with. But I quickly found out that I really like cowboy camping without a tent, of course, when the weather allowed. And so that allowed me to save quite a bit of weight. Now I already, this is the duplex, amazing tent, and I would have been perfectly happy with it. You can see there's not really much of a difference between the duplex and the altiplex. There's a small difference, of course. One is definitely smaller. But if I hadn't been worried at all, I would have brought the duplex. This place is roomy. It's so comfy on shorter trips. I definitely take this if I'm not worried about being fast. But the altiplex is what I started the trail with. That being said, cowboy camping allowed me to whittle it down even further, and these were the three things that allowed that. So first and foremost, this is the shelter that I switched to. It is a Z-Packs pocket tarp. It is a DCF tarp, but I do have the bathroom floor on it. This bag is not, my Senshi, which we'll get to later, actually came in this. That's not what it's for. It's what I used it for. But this is the pocket tarp. So it's a tarp tent in that it's not fully enclosed. It's just the top section. But this is a little deceiving. It's still, I guess, it's called the pocket tarp. I would consider it a tarp, I guess, but it's really the shape of a tent roof. When people say tarp, I usually think more of like a traditional flat rectangle tarp that you're more primitively rigging up, and this is not that. And this also has the bathtub floor. So it's not sealed off from bugs. It doesn't have the netting, but this is even lighter and smaller than this. So save some weight there. And then a couple other places. This is my Tyvek, which I ended up using for so many things. We've gone into this in other videos. This is a construction material. It's a vapor barrier used in construction, but ultralight backpackers have really taken to it because it's inexpensive, it's waterproof, and it's pretty darn rugged. And so it works as a really great ground sheet when you are cowboy camping. Along with this, I purchased the Z-Packs DCF rain poncho, which can also double as a ground sheet. I did not use it as a ground sheet, but I did use it next to my Tyvek. I slept on my Tyvek, and then I would lay this out next to it to serve as a clean, dry, dust-free-ish place to store my pack and all my stuff, while I'm sleeping. But the way that this saves extra weight is that it has dual purpose. That's always ideal with ultralight gear or with any backpacking gear. If it serves more than one purpose, that's great. And it's a rain poncho. So, in addition to having an extra ground sheet, I bet that's so loud in the microphone. In addition to having an extra ground sheet and rain protection, you also look super freaking fly. But the reason, it's got a hood. The reason that I fell in love with this was because it was a one solution. It covers everything. It covers my pack. It covered my fanny pack. Whereas when I started the trail, I got this mid-trail. I didn't start the trail with this. I started the trail with, is it here? The Enlightened Equipment Visp, which is a freaking bonkers rain jacket. I can't recommend it enough. It's a really great rain jacket. This is how I saved weight with my shelter. Next up, a quick mention of my pack, which is the Nashville pack Cutaway 30. I used a few different of these on the trail. No faults of their own, all my fault. But this is my ultralight pack of choice. And the final one that I used is made out of a Lula, which is a new fabric that is quickly taking hold in the outdoor space, especially ultralight backpacking gear. So there's lots of advantages of this over other fabrics, even DCF, and it's very, very light. So that was yet another way that I saved a little bit of weight. Okay, next up is my Enlightened Equipment Revelation. This was my quilt. It is a custom Revelation with the, I can't remember which fill, but the Is it 950? 950 is their top fill option. That's what I went with. And it was amazing. I also chose this big Agnes quilt. Which one is this? This is the Zero Insulated. That is what I started the trail with, and it was great. I ended with the, oh no, Thermarest NXT, there's a new pad from Thermarest. It ends in NXT. It's a really, in my defense, it's a really, really long product title. I'll find it and put it in the description. It's really long, but that's what I ended the trail with. And they both were great. But I think, and these aren't the only, the pillows that I used were extremely light pillows. I just pulled these two examples out just to show, honestly, it's not even just this. I mean, it's really my big three. Like, that's where I was able to cut the most weight. And it can't go unmentioned that that's expensive. Like, ultralight gear is ridiculously expensive. It's because of reasons. It's not unwarranted. I mean, I understand why, but it is. So I just want to, acknowledge that, it's expensive. And so it's not attainable for everyone to have. I don't have the very best of everything. I'm lucky because I work with brands, and so some of the stuff I got for free, that's really the reason why I'm able to have higher end gear. So I just want to acknowledge that it's expensive, and nobody should feel pressure to need to have all of this stuff. These are just opportunities to cut weight if your budget allows. If it doesn't, there's great gear for a reasonable price. It's going to be a little bit more heavy, but it's not worth keeping you from the outdoors. I just want to mention that because a lot of this stuff that I'm sharing is really expensive. And the last thing I would want you to take away is that you shouldn't dive into something like this unless you can afford all this ridiculously expensive gear. That's not the case. But that being said, if you can, where you can, not only are you going to get more quality when you invest in higher end gear, but it's going to last longer, and oftentimes it's going to be lighter. So those are the main ways that I cut weight. Of course, I was thinking about weight with every single thing I carried. My toothbrush is a little attachment that goes on my camp spork. I got that from Garage Gun Gear. There's lots of smaller ways that I saved weight, but these were the places that I felt like I saved the most weight by making some ultralight choices. So now that we've covered the ways I saved weight, let's go over the ways that I more than compensated for it by adding things that I needed for work and a few things I didn't. Hello, hey, if you are sitting there thinking, oh, I want to travel more, I want to go on more adventures, come with me. I host trips around the world. We've been hiking in Patagonia, we went looking for the Northern Lights in Iceland, trekking in Nepal, camping in Banff, Canada, in the Canadian Rockies. We do it all, and we have a real good time. Everyone's welcome, and all the details for any current trips, just click that little bubble up in the top corner, or go to my website, jjb.life/travel. And we almost always make at least one group cringy TikTok. So come hang out with us. We're a real good time. Okay, now let's talk about the ways that I ended up with such a heavy pack. It wasn't that heavy. I only had a few opportunities to weigh it. I think the most it ever weighed, completely weighed down with water and food and everything, was around 37 pounds, which I should note, that is way over the recommended carrying weight of a Nashville pack. It handled it brilliantly, but that is not recommended. So just know that if you're carrying more than that and it fails, it's kind of on you. But that being said, let's just dive right into these things. So first and foremost, camera. This is what I used. It's the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And I have made some content about it, so you can check that out if you want on my page. It's a little powerhouse. 4K stabilizes image. It's what I have another one. It's what you're watching me on right now. Next up were the battery banks. I was telling you about it. I went and grabbed one. This is it. It's called the NightCore Carbo 20,000. I got mine from Garage Grown Gear. This, for its capacity, is ridiculously lightweight. I carried 3 of them. I had to be able to charge 2 cameras and some other things that we'll get to, my phone. And well, let's just get to it right now. It's the iPad. So this is my iPad. I'm using it right now to monitor the camera. So I can't pull it off, but I carried the iPad, and I don't know if this was the right choice. I don't know if any of these choices were right, but this is the keyboard that goes with the iPad. And honestly, this is quite a bit heavier than the iPad, but I did carry them. I needed the iPad to be able to edit video. I had to be able to edit on the trail, and it's so difficult to edit, or it's more difficult to edit on an iPhone. And so for me, it was worth carrying the iPad for that purpose. I also was doing a lot of writing. I am doing a lot of writing for something that hopefully we can talk about soon. But because of that, I wanted the keyboard. And so that is why I justified carrying the keyboard as well. Those are the big ones. That's why I would make ultralight choices on my own, but that's why, despite my ultralight choices, I still ended up with a pack weight that was probably average at best. A nice side perk was the iPad. It was great to be able to, which you could do on your phone as well, but it was nice to have a bigger screen to download my programs, to download TV shows and stuff. In the beginning, I didn't want that. In the beginning, I was like, no, I just want to be in nature with myself. And by the end, I was really struggling with some boredom, and so it was nice to have something to watch once in a while. Look, if you're out here with a 12-pound base weight, judging my nearly 40-pound ultralight loadout, I get it. I don't know where you found an ultralight soapbox to stand upon, but at the end of the day, it's your hike, so you can carry what you want. But if you're less of a purist like me, and you're just looking to make some weight reductions to justify some weight additions, whether it's a drone, an espresso machine, or an extra pair of socks, you know what? At the end of the day, if it makes you happy and you're willing to carry it, bring it. That's the thing. Don't let yourself get wrapped up in other people's opinions and judgments about what you should carry and what you shouldn't carry. If it works for you, carry it. That's what I say. Hey, if you want to see my entire PCT gear list, check out the link in the description below. And if you've been wanting to go on more adventures, but you don't have a killer group of adventurous friends to go with, come with me. I host trips all around the world. So check out the link in the description. Want to watch another video? Click here. Want to learn more about my upcoming trips? Click here. Want to subscribe and like all my videos and turn those bell notifications